Hello, and thank you for tuning into this week's Mayor's Update. As always, we have a lot of important information to share with you, so please feel free to share this video with your friends, family, relatives, and anyone else you think might find this information helpful over the course of the coming week. We want to start off by reminding everyone that this Saturday is the 7th annual Gardner Food Truck Festival. The trucks will be ready to serve at 12 o'clock noon and will go until 7 p.m. This year's event promises to be bigger than ever with 22 participating food trucks. Also new this year is an addition of carnival games. Bay State Amusements will be offering games this year. In addition to the food trucks, there'll also be vendors, artists, beer and wine, live entertainment brought to you by Dave Mullen, who plays a variety of country, oldies, and rock music. So bring your lawn chair. We always say it's a BYOC event. Bring your own chair here in the Chair City and spend the afternoon. This is something that traditionally the City Hall staff would put together every year, but this year we handed it off to the Worcester Food Truck Alliance, or Woo Trucks as they call themselves now, to really take it and run with it and grow with it, and I think that's exactly what we've seen. So there'll be adult beverages, food for all ages, amusement park games, but there'll be a whole lot of stuff here, and this has been something that's been very successful in Gardner in the past. It's actually something I got the pleasure of starting when I was working as an aide in the mayor's office before, and now to see it here 7 years later is great to see it continue to grow and expand, and it's always a fun time for everyone. So again, that'll take place this coming Saturday, from noon to 7 p.m. on the front lawn of Gardner City Hall. And just as a reminder, the concert in the park is moved to the Food Truck Festival. So it won't be up at Monument Park, it'll be here at the Food Truck Festival, and they perform right on the front steps in between the columns at City Hall. Speaking of calendar events, we also want to remind everyone that the next Farmers Market at Waterford Street School is going to take place on June 20th. Again, that takes place on the third Saturday of the month from 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Thank you again to Erica Bossi and everyone who's volunteered to help make Gardner's new Farmers Market at Waterford Street Community Center such a success. Great to see that taking off, and the first one that we had was tremendously successful with a ton of people there. Hopefully we can get that again on June 20th. So again, June 20th, Waterford Street School, our next Farmers Market from 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. The Patriot Riders are sponsoring their annual American Day in the Park to thank our veterans. This is a free event and will take place on Sunday, July 21st from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Gardner Fish and Gun Club located at 538 Clark Street in Gardner, Massachusetts. This event does feature live music, raffles, games, and a barbecue, so it's sure to be a fun time for all. So again, the American Day in the Park to thank our veterans will take place on Sunday the 21st from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Gardner Fish and Gun Club. Also taking place on Sunday, July 21st is the annual Wildcat 5K that'll be held at Gardner High School beginning at 9 a.m. There is a 1-mile kids run at 8 a.m. and the track, on the track with a $10 fee. The Wildcat 5K walk or run begins at 9 a.m. The starting line at the crosswalk in front of the school's front doors will be where everyone's supposed to meet when you get there. Age awards and team awards will be given out to everyone, and the race will benefit the Gardner's track and cross country teams. For more information, you can look at www.wildcat5k.racewire.com or wildcat5krace.org. This is something that, again, happens every year and is really successful. I'm actually always surprised to see how many people participate in this event every year. So it's great to see, just how many people are supporting our school's cross-country and track teams, and thank you very much to Candace Graves for who organizes this each and every year. The 11th annual Greater Gardner Night Out is scheduled to be held on Thursday, August 8th from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Gardner High School. This event is sponsored by the Gardner Community Action Team, the Gardner Police Department, and the City of Gardner. For more information, you can contact Veronica Patty, our city's prevention coordinator, at vpatty, P-A-T-T-Y, at gardner-ma.gov, or you can call Veronica here in the health department and she'll be able to get you on the information for that. Again, reminding everyone that this is taking place at Gardner High School again, as it has the past couple years. It used to be at Monument Park, but then we simply outgrew the space. So again, this is taking place at the practice field over in between Gardner High School and Gardner Middle School for that event. Gardner's Health Department would also like to remind everyone that next Saturday, July 20th, is the Household Hazardous Waste Day to be held at the transfer station, the former dump located at 744 West Street in Gardner, and that'll take place from 9 a.m. to noon. Registration is no longer required, so it's just a simple drop-off event on a walk-in basis. So again, Household Hazardous Waste Day is no longer required to be pre-registered. You can just drop the stuff off at the transfer station located at 744 West Street on Saturday, July 20th from 9 a.m. to noon. I'd like to say congratulations to everyone who participated in the 21st Citizens Police Academy. This was a great program, and everyone who has taken advantage of the program has come a long way in deepening their understanding of our local police department. I'd like to thank Lieutenant John Chesnowski and everyone in the Community Policing Department, as well as everyone at the Gardner Police Department who helped make this event possible. It's great to see how many people participate in our regular Citizens Police Academy and our Junior Police Academy that happen each and every year. It's really great to see how many people choose to get involved and see how things work right here in their backyard through our Gardner Police Department. We want to let anyone know who's interested that the 2024 Municipal Firefighter Exam is now open. In order to work here at the Gardner Fire Department, you need to take the Civil Service Exam, as we are still a civil service department for our fire department. The Gardner Fire Department's Facebook page has the link available, so if you'd like to click on that for more information on how to apply to take the Massachusetts Entry-Level Civil Service Fire Exam, that's how you can do so. You must state that you are a certified EMT basic before being hired as a Gardner Fire Department, Gardner firefighter, because we do run our own BLS, Basic Life Service, ambulance service here in Gardner, so we do require that all of our firefighters do have an EMT license. For any questions, you can contact Chief Greg Lagoy at the fire station over here on City Hall Avenue. We'd also like to give a big shout out to Dan Fort and his team over at the Gardner Recreation Program. For once again providing the youth of Gardner a great summer camp. The camp is well underway and it's actually very well attended. We have close to 300 students who are attending this year, which is great to see that. Dan and his crew are giving kids of all ages a great place to spend the summer, learning new sports, doing arts and crafts, and making new friends along the way. So it's great to see our students still active here over the summer. I'd also like to thank everyone who came out for the Tri-City Takeover Day at Polar Park last week when Gardner, Fitchburg, and Leominster took over Polar Park in Worcester for the game between the Woo Sox and the Syracuse Mets. It was very fun to see how many people from Gardner were out there. Myself, Mayor Mazzarella, and Mayor Squalia got to throw out the first pitch at the game. Gardner resident from the Boys and Girls Club sang the national anthem at the game. It was great to just see a fun community event like that. So thank you to everyone who made that possible. And lastly, I just want to talk about the map that's behind me. The reason why we're in the council chamber today is because earlier this week, MART, our bus service system, had a public hearing and public meeting here in the City Hall chamber to discuss some service changes that they're going to be doing for us here in Gardner. Federal law requires that they have these meetings for at least an hour, 14 days before any changes go into effect. So we are under a public comment period right now for anyone who wants to comment on these changes that MART is trying to implement here in Gardner. We're going to talk first about the map that's behind me, and then we're going to end with a couple of the other changes that they are proposing. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride, or bus ride, if you will, because we're talking about the MART buses here. But first, right now, MART is proposing that we have 3 different bus routes here in Gardner. We already have 3, but we have one that goes clockwise and one that goes counterclockwise, and the new Route 3 that's added there too. What MART is proposing is to take Route 1 and 2, which currently run in the same location, just one clockwise and one counterclockwise, and cut them in half so we have a north loop and a south loop on top of the Loop 3. What this will do is take the average loop time, so from a bus to get from Haywood Hospital back to Haywood Hospital right now, from an hour and 10 minutes down to 40 minutes. And even if you're going from the north of the city to the south of the city, even with that bus transfer, because of the increased amount of circulations that we're able to have on the buses as a result of this change, that should take you from an hour and 10 minutes to get to where you're going to about 40 to 45 minutes instead of a full hour and 10 to get from one place to another, even with that bus transfer. So this should be able to quicken up times. We anticipate that this will take us from 11 circles per day on the bus route to around 17 to 18 circles per day to be conservative. It could be more, but it all just depends on how the schedules run. So that is the change that's being proposed mainly, is that Route 1 and Route 2 are going to be discontinued and replaced with a north loop and a south loop that will cover the same routes that the previous Route 1 and 2 covered, but instead meet in the middle, and all routes will meet at Gardner City Hall on Connor Street by the fire station and the post office that we have there too. So that will be the connection where all 3 bus routes will meet. There will be places throughout the rest of the loop that you can meet other different places, but the place that all 3 of them will meet and have a conjunction together is Gardner City Hall. So that's the first change that they're doing. Additionally, MART is adding a evening ride service. What this will mean is MART has partnered with Woods Ambulance Swift Ride Service, a local Uber company that we worked with Woods on starting a couple years ago in Gardner. and they're going to be providing rides between 6 p.m. and midnight. Woods will be 6 p.m. to 9, and then there's another vendor that'll come from 9 to midnight. This is adding some additional ride services to our residents in the city. Those pre-ride evening services are pre-scheduled rides required because MART is still seeing how those go. So you do have to schedule those by 2:30 in the afternoon the day before if you know you're going to be out the next day. But those will have some type of transportation. But do remember too that Swift Ride through Woods Ambulance does run on a 24/7 basis. So if you do need a ride somewhere and you didn't call ahead the next day, you can call Woods directly. The difference is MART's evening rides are subsidized by MART, so that's only $2 per ride, and it's curb to curb, so it'll pick you up where you start and where you need to go. Whereas if you call Swift Ride directly, it's $10. So that's the difference there, is MART is subsidizing the other $8 so you can have those rides in the evening. And then the other thing that MART is adding is a shuttle to the Wachusett train station. So that is now available there too. For all of the information that MART has, the presentation that they had on where they presented these changes, we've shared that on Gardner City Hall's Facebook page so that you can see the meeting even if you weren't there in attendance. The last day to submit public comments on all of those changes is July 24th. So those need to be done either over the phone, over email, or over regular mail addressed to Bruno Fisher, MART's administrator, by July 24th. For information on how to contact MART, you can find that on MART's website, or you can contact our office and we can get you the right person to reach out to. That concludes this week's Mayor's Update. As always, if you have any questions on anything happening at all, you can feel free to contact my office at any time, and we'll be happy to get you all of that information that's there. Additionally, looking forward to seeing you all at the Food Truck Festival this weekend, and until then, I'll see you at the next update next week. Thank you very much, and have a great day.